Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Esteemed Gentleman podcast for Monday, March 15th, halfway through the month of March already. Hard to believe. And it is Monday, of course, so that means it's time to Ask Us Anything, where we take your questions. But first, let's do the intros. I'm your host, Scott Labrie. Join alongside me, as always, we have the big cat, Tyler Sunt.
I'm going to run out of noise.
I love it. I love it how you get more involved every episode. It's great.
I'm trying.
And we have all day Eric the Chain.
All day.
All
Hello.
day. All day. And Eric's the exact opposite. He's going like I'm sick of it already.
Yeah. No, I don't mind it. Just keep it low key. That's all. So
Okay, don't want too many people to.
I don't want to growl. I don't want to growl when I get my name. Am I kidding? That's just yeah.
What a bitch.
Has these nicknames stuck in personal life yet for any of you?
For me, I still get called Wheels all the time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
that
too
was my
basic
name.
though.
That was my name in school, and it's been stick with me since then. So yeah.
I didn't really have a nickname, I guess. Well, Scotty, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
The one I had all kinds of nicknames,
Mm-hmm.
but the one that's really stuck is Teabag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Prolific.
Yeah,
But
I think it all started with my brother watched Prison Break, and one of these rapist killers, his nickname was Teabag, and he said that I looked a lot like him. I'm like, well, that's nice. That's really nice. And now
Thanks,
everybody.
bro. Yeah.
So
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it would have been like totally about like the Halo teabagging and all that stuff.
Nope,
That's where it came from.
nothing to do with that. Never did that to anybody. I didn't. No. And plus,
You've never teabagged anybody? That's even harder to believe.
no, I don't invade people's privacy. I just take my clothes off and run around. I've been teabagged. Don't get me wrong. I have been teabagged, but I've never teabagged anybody. I've mushroom stamped things.
Jesus.
That's a whole nother story. We're not here to talk about that.
Yeah, we're here to take your questions and answer them. And let's start off with Amber, who technically asked this question last week, but Facebook decided to hide it from us for some reason. But we'll answer it anyways. Amber, she asks, how do you think you would react if you woke up in a different time like Fry from Futurama?
Ooh.
Any specific time?
I would say probably the future, I would say.
You're like the year 3000.
1,000 years ahead right now.
Oh, jeez.
I would be heartbroken at first for sure for knowing that everyone I know is gone, but it's been 1,000 years since then, so
Yeah, that'd be a little weird.
the memory of me be long gone by that point. I would just be like, oh, well, give me a few days, I'll get over this, and then sweet, whole new world.
Is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
you'd definitely be shocked and like
Mm-hmm.
you
It'd
probably
take me a while
you probably
Oh,
would
yeah.
do what Fry did, and it's like, who's my closest relative? I'll see them. I'm
See
your
them.
problem now, man.
Yeah, I'm your great nephew.
Right?
The hell?
Yeah, that'd be I'd probably do the
Yeah.
same. I'd probably be grieving a lot because like
Mhm.
like you said, your whole family is gone
Mhm.
now, and I'd probably try to find out what happened, see if they have any kids, try to seek out family members, and see if anybody's still around, and see how far VR's come. Probably,
Yeah. Can I upload my brain to a computer? Cool.
see if there's
Yeah.
any androids, all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd be pretty hyped about that, but I'd also be pretty upset,
Oh yeah, of course.
I've
It's
lost. But
Human nature.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I.
If I'd get like unfrozen, come out of the cryogenic freezer.
Mhm.
Like, you guys invent sex robots yet? Not yet. Put me
Okay.
back in.
Put me back in.
I'm not ready yet.
I mean, from the year 2000, you'd hope by then they had that figured
Oh,
out.
yeah,
But,
For sure.
but the way
You
things
might not need robots for that. You just probably plug something in directly into your receptors, and
brain,
you just
yeah.
squirting everywhere.
The way the last year's been going by the year 3000, we're lucky for ourselves a planet, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Bypass the whole foreplay thing and just get right to the. Never mind.
Trump gets reelected in 2024. It ends right
Yeah,
there,
but-
bam.
Head in the jar.
Get the jar. You still.
Cameron, our main guy, Cameron, he says, how would you rank these 3 films in order of importance, not preference, to the success of comic book films? Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1, The Dark Knight Avengers 1. That is actually tough.
I think in that order for my choices.
You think so?
Yeah, because Spider-Man for sure. Oh no, actually no. Sorry, I would go Avengers, Dark Knight. Then sorry, Spider-Man, Dark Knight, Avengers. Oh, it is the order, right?
Yes.
The order.
Yeah, there's the order. Yeah, that way. Yeah, because I mean, without Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, we wouldn't have the superhero genre we have now, and Dark Knight really brought the theme of reality to superhero movies, which I think
grounded it and made it realistic.
Exactly. Yeah. Then the Avengers brought the whole ensemble concept into reality with that too. So
brought the whole concept of a cinematic universe like that. It would be crazy.
Definitely without Raimi's, though, we wouldn't have any of that though to begin with. So I would say Raimi's first for sure.
So I'm gonna call Cameron out and be like, "Yo, man, X-Men came out before Spider-Man, so X-Men should be probably the more important one." Yeah, anyways, but yeah, my order would be Spider-Man, but flip the other two would be Spider-Man, Avengers, and Dark Knight, because in order of preference for me, it's Dark Knight, Avengers, and then Spider-Man. But I guess Dark Knight can't be that important because the DC movies suck. So I don't know. So they had the formula and they didn't learn from it. I don't know. Whereas Marvel's like, everything should be like an actual comic book and tied together.
See, and I feel probably that Nolan's Batman trilogy was most important because it probably brought more people that aren't into superhero shows into the franchise. So they're like, oh, this is actually kind of cool and kind of realistic. Like he's training and he can hurt himself and, he's learning how to fight and all this stuff. And there's no like magic and all that stuff in this. It's very realistic. So I think a lot of people probably got into that and like, oh, now we're a little more open-minded to the idea of heroes and villains now. And then after that would have to be Spider-Man and then Avengers.
There you go.
Well, I mean, I get your point, Tyler, but it's not like superhero movies before then weren't successful. Like,
this is true.
All the Spider-Man movies made like $1 bajillion. It was just that the Dark Knight made $4 bajillion.
True.
Yeah. So I get what you're saying though. I can see that. Yeah.
Marvel definitely took part of the realism, but eventually they kind of moved away from the realism to time travel and other stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah, good question, Cameron. As always.
Cameron, really good.
You get a gold star.
Here's your badge.
Carly asks, why is the sky blue? Listen, Carly. If you want a scientific answer, it's because the sky reflects all light but blue light, and that's the scientific answer.
That's what I told her, and she was just like, I'm like, you learn about this in school. And then we fought. But we're still together.
Before I learned that, I always heard the argument was that the water reflects off the sky, and that's why it's blue. Nope.
That's what I understood too, yeah.
Water's clear.
It is.
It ain't blue. It's blue because the sky's blue.
That's right.
There you go. Eric, you want to answer this question, or did we
I have no idea. I have nothing to go with science. That's above my head.
Right?
Yeah,
I'm just glad there's no math questions. Yeah. I guess I can just.
I'll pose a question. If you could change the color of the sky, what color would you want it to be? Purple. Make it purple. No, purple. Make it like, when it's like a real pretty sunset and it's like all like orange.
Yeah, I was like orange or like yellowish orange at sunset. Yeah.
And put another sun in the sky like Tatooine. Do that too.
Yeah.
Oh God, 2 suns. More vitamin D, more cancer. Shit.
Yeah.
The polar ice caps. No.
There's something about an ocean blue, clear sky that's just nice to see. I like that.
True. When I like the nice, and it's no clouds.
Baby too. Yeah, like no clouds, none of that shit. Maybe the moon might be hanging out there, but that's about it.
You know what? I kind of like when it's permanently cloudy in the in the wintertime. Let's just make it great.
Yeah, great. Yeah,
Great. Go live in London or something then.
yeah. I want overcast every day. Yeah, live in fog.
Yeah.
Nicole asks, "What hobby would you like to get into if money was no object?"
Ooh, flying.
Flying. You want to be a
Yeah,
pilot?
be pilot. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
You'd be dead in like 2 years.
Yeah,
that's what
I
always would
was
happen.
on the verge of saying Kobe Bryant joke, but I didn't want to say it. Like, no, I won't go there. I know. I think I would enjoy it. I think for sure. I always wanted to be a pilot, and nowadays with technology,
Planes?
with planes, yeah, it'd be
Mhm.
easier to do that. So
Yeah,
I know
that'd be-
because with the controls too, it'd be easier to manage for me too, and I can figure out how to fly. But yeah, definitely would be a pilot.
I've always wanted to learn how to play guitar. I had a little moment there. I bought it like when I was working on the rigs and I was making money. I bought a guitar and an amp and a cord, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And then I ended up selling it for a fraction of the price I paid for it and just moved on. So I'd like to like learn how to play an instrument like electric guitar, even like drums or something, like just music.
Piano.
Then I can piano, sure.
Big
Yeah.
grand piano.
Yeah. What? Well, no, not a grand piano. Maybe one that can do like the synthesizer, so I can make like 80s.
Oh, get a keyboard or a keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like. I'd like to do that.
Yeah, when I read the question, it's like, what's a cool hobby that costs a lot of money? And for a reason, it was like, I want to paint miniatures, like Warhammer miniatures, because those are super expensive.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah.
It's like they always look so cool, but why is this thing that's 2 inches tall $200? Like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's Primark. Here's $3,000, but that's unpainted without the accessories for it. Like what?
Yeah.
For one unit. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watch a few painting channels like that, and it's like, oh, these are really cool figures. How much are they on the website? $300 for the kit. Oh my god, it's 4 miniatures and a stand. What the hell?
Yeah, you'd have to be like Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Yeah, be rich like him to afford it. That kind of hobby, because he's big into that too.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cool. He's so dreamy. Love that guy.
Yeah, he's definitely like rising in everybody's ranks of like the cool
he's-
dude. He's gonna pass the Rock soon.
Yeah, and he's not even like a big, like The Rock's always got some kind of big post and, oh, look at me, remember I'm still here and I'm doing this and look at this, and he's just kind of like yeah, exactly. Humble.
Every time you forget about The Rock, he goes on Instagram and he posts about him ripping off his gate because it wouldn't work, and he's like, I gotta go to work, and I just use my superhuman strength to rip off this iron gate.
Yeah.
Good
or him hawking his tequila or something like that. It's like, okay, dude, enough. Like, money we know, it's whatever. Yeah.
And now he owns the XFL, and there might be going into a partnership with the CFL.
What?
Crazy!
Wow!
I know.
He's gone full circle with it. Holy shit!
Right? Like I'm like, dude got cut by the Stampeders, and now he's gonna friggin' own the CFL one day.
And he's gonna disband.
Just a big old fuck you to Calgary. That'd be great.
Calgary. Nobody likes you, Calgary. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding.
You cut me off. I buy your franchise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Another question from Nicole. She says, "What language would you like to learn?"
Mm-hmm. That's a good one.
I mean, it'd be cool to learn Japanese and go to Japan and just be able to like fluently talk and order ramen and stuff. That'd be cool. But like more practically, it'd be kind of nice to know French, probably.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But if it's not just so that I know our secondary language or whatever, it would probably be some kind of European language like German or something. Or because if you know French and German, you can go to Europe and talk to just about everybody. Even Russian would be cool. I like the way that sounds.
You know French, you can work at the post office. Wouldn't that be fun? No.
Dream job.
Government job, yeah.
Yeah, government, yeah, exactly.
Yep.
coach the Montreal Canadiens. That's one of the main keys. You gotta be able to speak French.
Mm,
Oh, there you go.
Yep. What about you, Eric?
same thing, French.
French. French.
Actually, I spoke French for the first few years of my life, and now, being the English bastard that I am, I've lost most of it now. And
Yeah, because
I
even when
wish
I was in elementary too,
Yeah,
5 and 6 were taking French.
that was French for most of my young years, and then I went to English, and then I lost all of it. And yeah, I wish I still kept it, but now I can, when people speak it to me, I can know what they're saying, but I just can't reply back in French, which is
Right.
now I wish I could speak it again,
But
yeah.
you get the idea of what they're saying.
Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, my grandma is this old French woman. I can understand her when she talks all the time. It's fine for that.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
but yeah.
Aaron asks, "What's the weirdest phase you went through as a kid?"
Oh my god. Ass.
Pass. I used to tuck my pants into my socks. No, that's not true.
Back in junior high and early high school, there was this weird like bell bottoms and vest phase. I don't know what it was, but what everyone had to have a vest. That was like the one in thing, and I was like grade 9, grade 10, I think, and it was so stupid. I'm like, this is and looking back now, like that was a weird like clothing phase we all kind of went through, and even I was part of that too. Like, yeah, we just wore vests for some reason, and bell bottom jeans were big in again for some reason. It was weird.
Like just wearing vest, or did you have
like other clothing? But you had to have a vest on. A vest was the one. Yeah, a vest was what had to be worn at all times for some reason. I don't know why. It was yeah. It's a weird phase.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess there was a time where everybody was wearing like weird, like button up, like they look like Guy Fieri shirts essentially.
Oh yeah,
those kind of shirts, and sometimes they'd have a Yu-Gi-Oh character on the back or some other bullshit, and then and you go over to your friend's house and play Beyblades. I don't know. That's probably the weirdest phase, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I had a few weird phases. I just like, you know what? This year I think I'm just gonna do this weird shit for the year. And I think the weirdest one that I did was, and I think I was just kind of fed up with a lot of things that were going on in high school and everything in general, like the sports teams that I was on and stuff too. I didn't really, I don't know. And I just like every time it was recess time or like even in class and group projects, like I still talked. I just stopped talking to just about everybody. I would just sit in the hallway and I would just sit there with my book and I would just write. That's all I did. It was a long phase actually. I went like half the school year not talking to anybody. And they're like, did I do something wrong? No, I just don't. I'm not conversing. I'm done with it. I'm just gonna isolate like a fucking weirdo. It was weird. I don't know what got into me. And then, I'd go home and I'm still fine, like with the family and everything. It never went all the way home. Like as soon as I got to school, though, I just, did the school work and in the hallways, ate in the hallways, and it was really weird.
Your emo phase.
Super emo without the eyeliner and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. That was it.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like there is a more weirder phase than that, but
oh yeah, there definitely is.
Right now. Oh, that time I used to bring a stuffed dolphin to school every day. No, I'm just kidding.
Stuffed dolphin.
Before our time, no, we didn't have those.
Yeah.
Tara asks, best date ideas in our area to surprise your boyfriend/husband. What would you guys love to do in our area for fun with a lady?
Surprise, there is nowhere cool. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I don't know. I like movies. Take me to a movie. Like,
that was my first answer. The movie theater when it opens up again.
Movie theater again, yeah.
And then go to Smitty's for a drink.
Yeah.
An open mic night. And you can watch all the entertainment go up there and perform live.
Oh, yeah. I hate open mic night so much.
It's the best.
I like so I hate it because I like it kind of thing. There's just
yeah, because you sit there, you just plug your ears and like no, because it's so bad. Karaoke nights are fun though. Sometimes that can be entertaining.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah,
but other than that, around here for fun stuff, I don't know. There's a fish pond you can go fish at.
a guy who has a clay thrower, gold clay shooting. I don't know. It's really
There's a shooting range out of town.
Bowling? You can go bowling.
Bowling? Yeah, bowling's pretty
Oh,
fun.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, bowling's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Theater and bowling. And then Smitty's. There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. That's all I can think of.
Take a rip down the back roads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go hang out at the PKs, the kids call it.
Owen asks, what are some of the craziest or most stupid things you've seen at school?
You've seen?
Seen at school.
Okay.
I got
a good one.
Ridiculous story.
Mine's not bad at all. I used to, because of my disability, I would have to go upstairs to go to the classroom. So I have a skateboard to go between classrooms. I have the chair down and go with the skateboard and use that between the classes.
Yeah.
And one time, friends of mine were bored during recess, so we were whipping the skateboard down the hallways, and one friend pushes another friend who's on the skateboard, and I'm sitting there watching it. He pushes him really hard and jumps over. One other kid jumps over him while he's on the skateboard, so he ducks down to miss the kid, but not realizing he smashes the skateboard and himself into the door, bends the door, hit it so hard it bent the door. The door frame replaced. It hit so hard. The kid was concussed. It was bad. I'm like, what the hell? Written up forward, you got in shit. But that was like so stupid. And like that was the whole one door had to go replaced and everything else. Yeah.
Wow. Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Mine wasn't that bad, but it's bad enough.
Yeah, you might have to go, Scott, because I have to pick through about 15 things I've seen.
So this story is like, I almost think it might not even be real, and somehow it's a dream that I've convinced myself that is real, because it's so ridiculous that So in grade 3, we were getting let out at the end of the day, and we go outside, go to the lockers, and it's like, man, something smells like bad, like something smells like shit out here. And we go outside, and essentially the way the lockers work, you had the class 3A and 3B, so 3A were on one side and 3B were on the other side of the hallway, and so we got let out, and the 3B class is already out getting their stuff, and you see 2 kids from the other class, they're like wiping this locker with like paper towel and stuff like that. And we're like, everybody's like, what's that smell? What's that smell? And these kids are cleaning the lockers, like, some dude shit in this locker, or somebody pooped in this locker, and they like show them the paper towel, and it's got like poop on the paper towel, and they blamed this one kid who was in their class who did it. When I'm not gonna say their name because I don't know if it's actually true, but the story was that this kid, he like left to go to the bathroom or something like that, and like for some reason he had to go meet his mom or something, I don't know, and somewhere he got turned around, and like he just had to go to the bathroom, so he crapped inside of this locker. And yeah, I don't know, like, to me, I don't even know if that's real, like, it's so, or if it was even poop. Like, to me, I think like maybe it was just like rotten food that these kids left in their locker, and that's because, like, why would you get the kids to clean out this poop? It doesn't make any sense. But that is definitely the weirdest thing I've ever seen in school.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell 2 stories.
Okay, go for it.
One is actually of Eric. It's one thing that stuck with me since when I started going to Maleg school.
Mm-hmm.
We're on the bus, and we're driving. Eric sat in front of us near the front, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not feeling good." So he fucking Ralph's on the ground on the bus, and the bus is driving up this hill, and the vomit is rolling to the back of the bus, and people are lifting their feet, and everyone's like, and the smell. Eric, do you remember that?
I have no memory of this at all.
How can you not remember this?
I don't remember this.
Oh my god, I will never forget it. The smell, and how you were just like, had your head on the thing, you're just like, because you burped and vomited at the same time, like, burp. and you just heard this loud splash, and I'm like, "What the fuck was that?" And I looked down, like in elementary. I looked down, and see this white milky puke rolling to the back. The people are trying to lift up their bags before it reached them.
Oh, okay, yes,
And
I
there
remember
was
this now.
so much of it, and it was like I was on the other side, so I was just watching it creep back, and I was like, "Oh, I hope it gets somebody's feet." I was just like, "This is so incredible."
I remember that now. Yeah, everyone was so worried about their bags. Oh yeah.
Oh my god! It's like,
You were young then. That was like elementary, really young.
that was
Wow,
a
yeah.
long time ago.
Your
I
bus
was
driver must have been so pissed.
Oh yeah, like, and well, we were no, because you were one of the you were like the halfway point of our bus route, I think. So we still had a way to
Yeah.
go yet.
It was, yeah.
This bus full of vomit. And then I remember when I was in Ashmont school, I was in grade 2, I think, or grade 1. I still remember this to this day because it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen. So this kid, I was in the back seat because our bus driver Billy, he let us sit in the back seat. I was like the youngest until the bus monitors came on. Then I'd have to move up so they can sit in the back. But so anyway, I'm sitting in the back, and then one of these kids, the older kids, he must have been senior high. I have no idea who he was, and I think it was the bus driver's daughter, Janine. I think she was the one sitting about 5 or 6 seats behind him, and we were driving, and it was pretty warm, so he rolled his window. He pulled his window down, and she pulled hers down too. And he's sitting there. He's like hawking up a loogie, right? And he fires off this monster gob out the window, and the fucking thing comes back and nails her right in the forehead. It went out the window and got sucked back in the window and nailed her right in the forehead. And she was like, "What the fuck?" And she's like gagging. I'm like, I was so confused as to what was happening. I had no idea because it just didn't make sense. Like physics, it was something I didn't understand or couldn't wrap my mind around, right? And the guy in the front's like, "Oh, that hit you, oh, whatever." And then I remember she was screaming at him, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't know what's gonna happen." Like he was like almost at the front of the bus. And they came all the way to the back and nailed her. So those two are tied. Here's what's the most entertaining, and that one was the most mind-boggling.
Yeah.
I will never forget that.
I forgot about that. Good thing you reminded me of that. Holy shit. Those bus rides, man. Yeah.
Bus rides, yeah.
And when you're sick on those buses, you're stuck for
You can't go.
Exactly, right? Yeah. So
I'm not gonna pull the bus over because some kid puked, but
yeah.
I'm not feeling good.
Oh, I remember that. Everyone was signing up in their seats and grabbed their bags out of their heads. Yeah.
Before it came back, and we're all like watching for the hills. Oh, there's a hill coming up. But anyway, there's a problem.
Yeah, I could share a couple more, but we'll move on.
Yeah, there's so many.
Sherida, a good friend of ours, Sherida asks, if you had to give up one thing forever, movies or video games, what would you choose?
That's ruthless.
I know.
Why must you torture us?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna say movies. I'll give up movies.
Yeah, you know what? As much as I love movies and I grew up with them, like for example, playing Detroit Become Human. It's literally a movie, but you make all the choices for them. You're watching a movie. There's enough cinematic value to it that some of the budgets of the games are as much as movies are. And there's talent, there's actors, there's casting directors. So I'm gonna have to say movies too.
Yeah, and I play video games much more than I watch movies. When time comparatively, I'll go see a movie in theater once every month, 1 or 2 months, and watching a movie on Netflix. I rarely do that. I've been doing it more now since we started the podcast, so I had stuff to talk about. But normally it's just playing NBA 2K.
I was gonna say video games, but more think about it. Like, you guys are right. I should probably give up movies before that because I do play more games and watch movies. But
I find that I enjoy myself a lot more when I'm playing video because you can play online with your friends. You can, if you want to play a single player game that's got a good story, you can do that too, or you can whatever, right? So, movies are, I don't know.
There's that's a tough question.
That's tough. That is tough, but
because there's nothing better going outside of the theater and you're standing out on the sidewalk and you're just talking to your friends about the
we just watched.
movie.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah,
So
the
nice.
movie theater experience is very,
Yeah.
very nice. But
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
why I'm excited for theaters to come back, even though some people are like, yeah, just put everything on digital. And it's like, yeah, some movies I wish would just come to digital, but
Mhm.
there are some that I will brave the terrible crowds for.
right. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
And
a mean.
you say video games too, Eric?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Very, very good. We are in agreement.
We are in agreement. We have an accord.
Reached a consensus.
Yes. And Sherrod asks one more question. She says, what happened when Tyler decided to buy fireworks?
Oh God,
Oh, I'm
talk.
I
was
missed that.
Oh, Scott kind of saw.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was amazing.
Mhm.
It was so dumb. I'm so stupid. The first time I decided to buy fireworks, I saw this big crate. It was like the big boom box, whatever. I don't even know how much I spent on it. It was a few $100, I think, on fireworks. And I was like, "Oh, that's something that we don't usually do. Let's have fun and just have a little light show. There's gonna be kids there. It'll be fun." So brought the box out and took them out. And I've never shot fireworks before, and of course, there's alcohol involved, so that's a good mix. So setting all these bad boys up, and there's these little stakes that are in some of them. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that must just keep them up. Oh, these ones just have flat bottoms, so they must be pretty stable. You got to put them on a flat surface, and we're good to go. So I freaking lit one up, and then I backed up. So as soon as the first one popped off, the force of it knocked it over, pointed straight into the campsite. Another one fired off, missed me by like an inch, exploded in front of me, and a piece of shrapnel went. I just got my new glasses, shot up and got caught on the nose piece of my glass, like literally a millimeter from my eyeball,
Yeah.
and burned into the side of my nose and melted the plastic of my frame. That was like the first firework that went off. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? The fireworks are falling over, shooting everywhere. And they're like, oh, you're supposed to put something down to brace them, you idiot. I'm like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Well, no, that's not. Didn't like you shoot that one off, and then you went to shoot off another one, and that one also tipped over.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And then
Yeah.
somebody finally said, like, you're supposed to dig a hole or brace it with something.
Yeah, 'cause I think Jake, like Sheridan's little brother, came out there. He's like, yeah, I'm going to come and help you out. He's like, yeah, you're supposed to put something on these to keep them falling over you, idiot. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I came the next night after all that happened, and then show me the video of it, and you see the poof one go off, and then
Oh, yeah.
you just hear poof, oh, son of a bitch, and you're running.
And I jumped over the fence trying to run away. I'm getting shot at these freaking huge fireworks.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Good thing I set them up far away because,
Mhm.
well, even if it was like pointed directly at the campsite, I think one of them could have reached.
Oh, definitely could have. Oh, absolutely.
Easily.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
We were only 100 some feet away from the campsite. Those go like 200 some feet in the air. So yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I should ask Sherida because she has a video of this. If she has it, if I can get it, it's gonna play in the podcast right now.
I quit! I quit! Need help? Oh my god! I said it straight up!
Maybe we need to like
Jam him in the ground.
Oh,
is that what?
And did you see it? I don't know. We'll find out. Yeah. I think we're kind of at time, but you know what? I want to read a card anyways because I like reading these cards. They're fun.
Mhm.
The Hugh game. You can get your copy of the Hugh game. Not a sponsor of the podcast. It's
Not yet.
HYGGE game. They're just little cards with questions on them to start
Very
conversations.
thought- Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of cool. So I'm gonna just pick a whole random one here. Let's do. Do you have any major scars? If so, how did you get them? Wow, look at that. Tyler sounds like he has a story. Who could imagine?
Yeah.
I'll go first because I don't like. I have kind of a messed up. Well, I got two, I guess. one on my knee, and that's because I was biking as a kid and went down a gravel road and wasn't paying attention to what the fuck I was doing and just fell down and fucked up my knee. And then I had like this one weird looking one on my hand, and that was because I had like some eczema on my hand, but the doctor was like, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's some sort of fungus or something. So he like took a biopsy of it, which is like essentially like it was like a cigar cutter or something like that, like a little like circle thing, and just kind of like took a chunk of skin out of my hand.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, there's just scar tissue. It's like, well, there you go. Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Now I got a fucked up looking scar on my hand.
For me, I just got one on my arm where I collided with those folding closet doors.
Oh.
Like right in the corner, it caught one of my arms and gave me a little scar here. And then I got one on my wrist where I was moving exercise equipment for my mom and dad and just moved it, caught an edge, and just bled like a bastard and hurt like hell. Yeah. So
Oof.
that's
Jesus.
it.
I've got. Oh, sorry.
No, so go ahead.
Yeah, I've got a few on my hands just from like kind of the same idea. I've got one on by my thumb where when I was little, I was helping my dad. We were doing some renovations, I think, on the garage, and the doors, how they fold. There's like 3 folds in them when they roll up onto the rack.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to pick it up, and then it pinched my hand, and then it fell over and just ripped the skin off my hand. It was like a little half moon shaped looking scar there. But my real story starter one I have on my stomach by my belly button.
Oh yeah.
It was caused by my brother with a steak knife.
Oh my God.
That's fun.
We were camping. We used to do this yearly trip with the family up in Fairmont Hot Springs, and tensions were high. There was a little bit of cabin fever. We haven't really gone out much lately, and there was one bag of Cool Ranch Doritos left, which was one of my brother's absolute favorite chips, and he will tell till he's blue in the face that this went a different way, but my version is true, so whatever. So he decided, while we were already like hanging by a thread, our sanity was hanging by a thread, so he gets up and he opens up the top cupboard. My parents and my cousins and uncles and aunts were all sitting outside the camper by the fire, and he reaches up, he grabs the bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, he opens the bag. I grabbed the bag from his hand and I said, no, we can save these for tomorrow because you've had enough for today. He's like, no, you'll give me the chips. I'm like, no, I'm just going to take these. So I rolled them up, put them in the cupboard. As soon as I shut that door, the first fist came across and hit me in the face. That's the first time I've ever been punched directly in the face before. It actually hurts really bad.
Yeah.
And so by the time I realized the first fist hit me, the second one was coming around the other way. So he's just doing like this weird roundhouse fist punch thing. He wasn't doing it properly, but all of his weight was behind it, so he did a lot of damage. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? And then he grabbed me and he threw me, like ran with me, broke the bathroom door of the camper, and I hit the sink in the bathroom. So the whole camper was just rocking. Kirk and Zach are screaming, like, oh my God, you guys stop. And I'm punching him in the back of the head, just trying to calm him down. Like he was in such a rage that there was no pulling him out. Yeah, that he had to be knocked out. That was the only way I was going to stop him.
Jesus.
So he turns around and he runs me down the hall again into the kitchen, up against the kitchen sink this time. And he reaches over like fluidly, opens up the top drawer, reaches in, grabs a knife, and goes straight for my stomach. But I caught his wrist. And he's like, and he's pushing as hard as he can. I'm like, holy fuck. And I'm like holding it with 2 hands. And he's just shaking. I've got 2 hands on him. And I'm trying to hold it back. And then the knife touches my shirt. And he's pushing it. So like, you know how your stomach kind of gives a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm trying not to strain my stomach to make it like a hard surface because he's going to like penetrate it. So he does. And it goes in about probably not quite half an inch, but enough to go in. And I'm like holding his arm at bay because I know if I let go, the whole blade's going in there. I'm like, Jason, stop. I'm like freaking out. He's like 2 years younger than me. He was so mad. My mom opens the door. She's like, Skinny! My dad comes in, grabs Jason's wrist, twists it all the way back, and he drops the knife, grabs us both by the backs of our hair, and smashes our heads together. Throws us on the couch. And he's like, if you guys are going to fucking kill yourselves, do it somewhere else. Don't fucking embarrass me. He's like, I'll fucking kill both of you, or something to that extent. I don't know exactly what he said, but man. Jason's sitting there. He's like, like all rage taking out of every face orifice. He was just in such a frenzy. And then we looked at each other after and we laughed for like 5 minutes after. And I'm sitting there whole stomach, like nobody even asked if I was okay. I have a little that's where I got my scar on my stomach from. The scar on my stomach. My second button.
Growing up as siblings, man.
That's right.
There you go. We got a title for an episode. Tyler gets stabbed over Doritos.
Yeah, Cool Ranch Doritos. Life or death.
Yeah, who got stabbed over Doritos? Find out.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, there you go. If you like that podcast, how could you not like that podcast? I'll ask you that. Like and subscribe here on YouTube. Share with your friends. Like and subscribe on all the other podcast services. Head over to our Facebook page. Go to the post there and ask your questions for next week, just like all these other lovely people did. Or you can message us on Facebook if you like to be anonymous. And yeah, that's going to do it for today. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Have a good night.
See you guys.